So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure helicopters don't go that high. Like, just a wild guess. I'm pretty sure they don't go that high. How's it going, everyone? My name's Miguel. Doing another movie review. Today is uh, a very interesting day. A while ago, I got recommended a certain movie by my friend Valentino, so shout out to Tino for this. But he recommended the movie Crank to me, and that's what I ended up watching today. So, if you didn't know, Crank was directed by Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, and it stars Jason Statham, Amy Stewart, and a bunch of other people that, quite frankly, I don't think I've seen anywhere else, to be quite honest. I think the only person in this movie that I remotely had an idea about beforehand was Jason Statham, and I think I only knew him because of his association with this franchise. I've never watched Crank before, and it's quite an interesting ride. So, the premise, basically, there's this assassin guy named Chev, and he wakes up one day and he's drugged with they call it this Chinese thing. Anyways, he gets drugged with this thing that allegedly would cause him to die if he didn't constantly have adrenaline flowing through his veins. And that was the entire film. Basically, if you want to imagine this movie, if you've ever played GTA, yeah, that's probably it. If you ever played GTA before and just pictured what that would be like as a movie, you have Crank. And take that the way you will, but I feel like there's a very certain humor you have to assume going into this thing. This movie is very stylistic. It's very off the wall, kind of crazy, and it is very aware of itself the entire time. It's kind of playful in the way that Chev or whatever goes about his entire experience, and you're basically living his last hour. Well, spoiler alert, there's a whole series to this movie, but you're living through what he thinks is the last couple hours on Earth, and his heart isn't going crazy. The direction, really takes advantage of using his heart as a visual element, and its beats. It's reflected in the music and the shot composition. It's very jarring. It's very all over the place. And in a lot of ways, it was really fun just to have that amount of style, with an action movie. This movie was made in 2006. So, if you look at it and you start to notice a kind of humor, that's also where it's from. Is a lot of the shit in this movie would not fly today. And that isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just very noticeable, watching action movies now and comparing them to what Crank was as a viewing experience. But all in all, it was a pretty interesting ride. I would definitely say this is a movie that I would recommend you see, purely on the basis of how crazy it is. It is you can easily be offended by this thing, but at the same time, you could also have a very fun little ride, I guess, for an hour and a half. And let's talk about performances. There aren't very many good ones. I think everyone in this movie kind of is campy, and you know what? I feel like that's the aesthetic of it. You want to be as off the wall crazy with this sort of thing, and in that sense, everyone kind of buys into it. Jason Statham, notably, is the best actor here, but at the same time, you get multiple shots of this guy just orgasming, and not literally, but sometimes literally, you get to just see Jason Statham orgasm on camera. So take that the way you will. All in all, I had a pretty decent time with this thing. Would I recommend it again? Yeah, it's a decent time, but don't expect anything more than an hour and a half of madness. You're not taking anything serious away from this movie. But you are watching it to kind of just have a good time. So all in all, I'll give Crank like a C. Like, yeah, I'll give it a C plus. I will settle on a C. So that is my review on Crank. I hope you go check it out. Maybe I don't. You know what? Have at it. Yeah, go watch Crank. Let me know what you think. If you did enjoy this review today, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. And support your guy. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I should watch next, because that's always fun. And yeah, I will see you all next time.